Hello and welcome to Bottoms Down, chair yoga for everyone. I'm Carol. I'm so glad you've joined us today. Check out the sections on the Bottoms Down YouTube channel homepage. Makes it easier to find classes by length or by purpose or by body area. And if you haven't already, please click the subscribe button. Don't forget it's free and I'd love to hear from you, so leave a comment. In today's practice, we'll explore familiar poses but more mindfully. We're going to try to eke out some new sensations from these movements. So you'll need your chair and a block. Now if you don't have a yoga block, you can substitute a large book, or you can just do the class without it. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start by sitting up nice and tall and moving forward in our seat. Now, one thing you can do, since we're using our block today, if you like having that block behind your back, you can use that for support. I personally am going to just have mine under my chair, but just know that that is an option. Let's go ahead and place both feet on the floor. We're going to ground those feet to the earth, so thinking about having all four pressure points equally weighted. Each foot is equally weighted on the floor. And the next thing we're going to do is ground our sits bones. So these very pointy bones that we sit on, we're going to be sitting up nice and tall on those bones, and we're going to have them equally weighted on each side, so you're not feeling like you're leaning one way or the other. Let's go ahead and lift our heart. Take your shoulders down out of the ears. Place the hands lightly on the thighs. Close the eyes and just breathe. So we connect to that breath. We feel that natural inhalation and exhalation. And we're going to take that breath down into the belly, into the diaphragm, that yoga breath. As you inhale, we're going to fill the lungs from the bottom up. The belly extends. And as you exhale, you're going to pull the belly button to the spine and push the air up and out of the lungs. Do that a couple of times. We're going to add a little rhythm to that. So we're going to inhale to 4 counts and exhale to 5. It'll be something like this. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and breathe normally. Bring your hands to your heart and set your intentions for today's practice. One more breath here. Bring your hands back down to your thighs and open your eyes. Let's just take our gaze to the right. Bring the gaze center. And we're going to look to the left. And bring that gaze center. Let's do that one more time. See if you can look a little bit farther over that shoulder, but being super gentle, keeping those hips forward. As I said, we're just trying to see if we can find a little different sensation in these movements today. Go ahead and look center, and let's look the other way. And look center. Beautiful. So we're going to do a couple of pelvic tilts. So just take your hip tips. I call these, it's your pelvis right here, right? The kind of pointy bones that we have on each side. And we're going to rock those up towards the shoulders. Let me turn to the side. Maybe you can see me a little bit better. So see, I'm just rocking those hips forward. Now we're going to take those bones and we're going to kind of rock them to our knees. And now it creates a nice sway back, if you will. Let's do that again. Go ahead, rock those hip tips to the shoulders. Now my belly is tight, and then rock those hip tips to the knees. So it's just a little warm up for that spine. Let's do that again, one more time. And hip tips to knees, and release. So now we're coming back kind of to that neutral spine. All right, excellent. We're going to move into a mountain pose. So the first thing we're going to do is bring our hands down by our side, spreading those fingers wide. Now, if you have arthritis in your fingers and hands, I wouldn't do this. But if you're good to go, we're going to spread, just give a little stretch to those fingers. Okay, are we ready? Release the finger stretch. Bring those arms to goal pose. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back. Should feel really, really good. Okay, now we're going to take those hands to the ceiling. Our palms are facing each other, okay? Lengthening, trying to touch the ceiling with our fingers, keeping our sits bones nice and grounded. All right, let's go ahead with your right hand, grab that left wrist, lengthen up, trying to touch the ceiling first, and then we're going to lean. Should feel good. So as you're leaning, you're kind of pulling gently on this wrist and keeping this opposite hip down, okay? So feeling the stretch all the way through. Okay, let's come up, bring those hands down, and we're going to do that full series one more time on the other side. All right, are we ready? Here we go. Mountain pose. Spread those fingers to stretch. Goalpost arms. Squeeze those shoulder blades behind you, opening up that chest, feeling that heart open. Getting a nice stretch. Here we go. Extend your mountain, fingertips to the ceiling, palms are facing one another, belly is tight, shoulders are down. All right, let's grab that opposite wrist this time. And lean. You know what? I think I'm doing the same side. I am. Grab that opposite wrist. Extend and lean. There we go. Now it's the other. See, I knew it immediately. I'm like, oh yeah, I just did that side. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. Feeling that stretch, keeping that opposite hip down. One more breath. Up we go, and bring those hands down. Excellent. Okay, so now with our right hand, we're going to place it on the outside of that left knee. Okay, my hips are going to stay forward. The twist is going to happen right at the rib cage. Opposite hand is going to come back on my chair behind me. Extend the spine long. Now take this shoulder, pull it back, and then turn and look over that shoulder. So we're trying to concentrate on the movement happening at the ribs, all right? So the rib cage is what's initiating the movement. One more breath here and go ahead and face forward. Okay, let's do the other side. So our hips are really strong and they want to help, but we don't want to let the hips help, all right? So we're going to bring this hand to the outside of the knee, opposite hand back, extend through the spine first, bring that shoulder back, and then just, if you'll just turn and look over that shoulder, already just bringing that shoulder back gets that rib cages involved. Make sure your knees are facing forward. We're feeling that nice gentle twist, super gentle here. One more breath and face forward. All right, let's grab a sip of water. We're going to move into a Windmill Twist series. We'll be adding a Crescent Lunge. We'll be adding some things on. So this, again, remember, is one of those series where we're going to be building and building and adding and adding. And you can always keep doing the same one we were doing. You don't ever have to add on, okay? So just remember that. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn and we're going to face to the right, all right? So your right knee comes open, then your left knee comes in, and you are facing the other direction. So you're not facing me, okay? You got it? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our arms to the ceiling. Now the key to this particular series is, again, we want the action to happen at the rib cage, not the hips. So we want those hips to stay forward. So starting with your left hand, you're going to windmill around and look at me. So my arms are extended out, right? I call that the windmill. I don't know a better way to say it. Okay, now starting again with that back hand, we're going to take those arms and windmill back up to the ceiling. Now we're going to take that other arm and we're going to windmill him. Now we're looking over the back of our chair. Again, the action is happening right at the rib cage. Shoulders are staying down. Let's take those hands back up to the ceiling. and bring the hands down into your lap, okay? Now, we're going to go to the other side. So here we are, now we're facing forward. That left knee is the one that's going to open, then the right knee is going to join it, and we're facing the other direction, okay? Here we go. Arms to the ceiling, belly is tight. Starting with that right arm, we're going to windmill around. You're looking at me now with those arms extended out, trying to touch the wall. We're going to bring those hands back up to the ceiling. And then starting with the left hand, you're going to windmill and look over the back of your chair. Hands back up to the ceiling. Bring your hands back into your lap and release, okay? So now let's face forward. So that is basically what we're going to be doing. We're just going to be adding some additional things to that. So if you want to keep working that version, it is just fine, okay? But if you're with me, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this knee and we're going to open it up, just like we did previously. But now, instead of bringing this knee to match it, we're going to take this knee down to the floor. So a crescent lunge, okay? So this leg is facing straight down towards the floor. Bring your hands to your heart. Now we're going to take those hands to the ceiling just like we did before. Starting with that left hand, you're going to windmill around and face me. Okay? Now we're going to take both hands back up to the ceiling and we're going to windmill and we're going to face the other way. We're going to take both hands back up to the ceiling. Now you're going to lean over that front knee. So here's our back working, okay? We're going to take those hands to the ceiling, and then I want you to come to goalpost arms and squeeze your shoulder blades behind you and look up towards the ceiling. Belly is tight. Take the hands back to the ceiling and bring that hand down, and let's face forward and take a break, okay? Feel a little bit different there, right? That leg was working. Okay, we're going to do the other side. So we're going to open up that left knee. Now this right leg is going to fall down towards the floor. Bring your hands to your heart. All right, let's take those hands to the ceiling. We're going to windmill around and face me. Hello. Take those hands to the ceiling. Then you're going to windmill and face the back of your chair. Take those hands back up to the ceiling. We're going to lean over that front knee, working your back now. Take that belly button to spine as you lift up, goalpost arms, squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, look up at the ceiling. Take those hands back up to the ceiling, bring your hands down and take a break. Okay. All right, so the last thing we're going to do in this series is we're going to do more with the legs. So as we move into that crescent lunge, peek at me just real quick. So what we did is we opened and we let that knee fall down. Now what we're going to do is we're going to push that foot behind us. We'll go through that whole series. Then, before we move to the other side, what we're going to do is we're going to slip our hips off of the chair. And we're going to do the same thing, all right? So you have your chair, right? If you don't want to do that, if you want to keep your hips on the chair, that's fine. If you want to give it a try and see what happens, you can do that too, all right? So remember, this is just an option. Let's do it. Let's take that right knee and open it nice and wide. We're going to let that left knee fall down towards the floor. Now instead of it staying, knee to floor, we're going to push that foot back behind us. We're up on those back toes, okay? Bring your hands to your heart. So the first one, I want you to keep your hips down. Then we'll move to where we slide our hips off. Let's get the feeling of it first. Hands up to the ceiling. We're going to windmill around and face me. Hands back to the ceiling. We're going to windmill around over the back of your chair. Hands to the ceiling. We're going to lean over that front leg. We're going to press up, hands to the ceiling, and then we're going to come to goalpost arms and squeeze our shoulder blades behind our back, looking up just slightly. Bring those hands up to the ceiling, bring your hands back down, and just release that knee for a moment. Okay, you got the feeling? You want to give this next one a try? Let's do it. All right, here we go. We're going to push that foot back behind us into that crescent lunge, And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to slip my hips off of that chair. So now make sure that front foot, you don't want, I call it, don't want to be on a tightrope. You want to be on railroad tracks, okay? So you don't want to have those feet right in alignment or you're never going to have any balance, okay? So you do want to have a little bit of separation between those legs. Okay, belly is tight. Are we ready? Bring your hands to your heart. Here we are in that beautiful crescent lunge. Lifting that heart, we're not leaning forward. Our crown of the head is to the ceiling. Our shoulders are down. Okay, are we ready? Hands to the ceiling. We're going to windmill around and look at me. Challenging, isn't it? I know. Let's bring those hands back to the ceiling. Windmill and look over your chair. Oh, Baba. Back up to the ceiling. Now, both hands are going to come over, leaning over that front knee. Press it back up. Goalpost arms looking up at the ceiling. Hands back up to the ceiling. Bring your hands down. Grab that chair. Slip your hips back on and face forward. Whew. I know. Did you get your heart rate up just a little bit? It didn't me. Okay, let's do the other side. Here we go. Let's take that knee and open it up nice and wide. Now we're going to bring this right knee down towards the floor and push that foot back. Bring your hands to your heart. Okay, are we ready? Hands to the ceiling. We're going to windmill around and look at me. Bring those hands back up to the ceiling. You're going to windmill and look over the back of your chair. Bring the hands back up to the ceiling. Now, lean over the front leg. There's your back working, belly tight. Press up, goalpost arms. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind your back as you look up at the ceiling. Hands back up to the ceiling. Bring the hands down and release that knee. Okay, we're going with that last version. We've got this, okay? Let's come to that crescent lunge and let's slip those hips off. So again, take a couple of moments to get yourself set, making sure you've got space between your legs. What I mean by that is this way, right? You want the legs on railroad tracks, not on a tightrope. So space between the feet. Hips are forward, crown of the head to the ceiling, belly is tight. So engaging your belly button to spine is super important in this one, right? Super challenging balance. Okay, are we ready? Bring your hands to heart. Hands to the ceiling. We got this. Windmill and face me. Hands to the ceiling. Windmill and face over your chair. Hands to the ceiling. Lean over that front knee. Press your hands up. Goalpost arms. Look up at the ceiling. Oh my goodness. Hands to the ceiling. Bring your hands back to that chair. Slip those hips back on and face forward. Oh my goodness. You okay? I know that's pretty challenging. Did you give it a try at least and just see how it feels? I hope so. All right. So again, in this next one, if you want to have your block behind you for a little bit of support, for the very first beginning piece of it, it won't matter. But as we move and build into this one, it might feel good for you to have it there. I'm not going to because I'm short. I have to be at the edge of my chair or I can't reach the floor. I know, my kids laugh at me about how short I am, but that's just the way it is. So I'm going to be forward in my chair, but I just wanted to give you that option of having that block in your back for support. Okay, so we're going to take our right leg and extend it long. My toes are up to the ceiling, pyramid pose. Extend through the spine, let your heart fall forward. And just taking a moment here. Feeling the stretch in the back side of that leg. All right, now the knee that's bent, that's the arm we're going to use. We're going to extend that arm long and we're going to come to the outer edge of that foot, or it could be here on the shin or the ankle or the foot. Just getting a little side stretch there. Let's come up and do that again. Feels good. Nice stretch. and release. Okay, now, not the knee that's bent, the knee that's extended, that's the hand you're going to hook up underneath that leg. Did you see what I did? So that leg was extended. This is the hand that I'm going to use. I'm going to just hook it underneath my knee, and there I am. Okay, I personally kind of like to go ahead and grab this with this other hand and hold it, but you don't have to do that. You can keep that head down, or you can be hanging on to the chair if you want to. Okay, so this is the leg we're working right now. We're going to extend that leg long, and then we're going to bend that knee. You see what's happening there? Extend the leg long, and then bend that knee. Extend the leg long, and bend the knee. One more. We're going to extend the leg long. Okay, now the add-on here is we're going to reach up and we're going to grab that ankle, and we're going to give it a little tug. You feel it? One more breath, bend that knee, and put that foot on the floor. Whew. Okay, we're going to do the other side before we add on. We've got a couple of things to add on to each side. But first, let's do the other side. So I'm going to extend that left leg, toes to the ceiling. Let's just do pyramid first. Feeling the back side of that front leg stretching? All right. Now we're going to take, so the knee that's bent is the arm you're going to use. You're going to extend it up to the ceiling, and then we're going to come to the outer edge of that ankle or shin or foot, whatever works for you. So I say in my classes, let's come up. My shape is different than your shape, is different than anybody else's shape. So don't worry about it. Whatever your shape looks like of your body is A-okay. Let's do that one more time, because I have tight hamstrings. It's always a challenge for me. All right, go ahead and come up to seated. Now, the leg that's long, that's the arm you're going to hook underneath, okay? So this knee doesn't change position. It's this extended leg is the one that we're going to hook underneath, and then if you want to hang on, that's fine. If you want to put that hand down, that's fine too. Okay, are we ready? Don't forget, extend through the spine. Belly is tight. We're going to extend that leg, and we're going to bend it. We're going to extend that leg, and we're going to bend it. We're going to extend that leg, and we're going to bend it. All right, are we ready? Extend the leg, hold, reach up, grab that ankle, see if you can give it a little tug. One more breath, bend the knee, and put that foot down. Okay, so there's where the block behind your back can give you some support. Because what I really don't want to have you do is you're here and then you're leaning back, right? So that's totally taking the work out of the belly. And this is getting some good abdominal work done. So we want to keep the crown of the head long, so that helps sometimes with that block behind you, that helps remind you to not lean back, right? Okay, we're going to add one more, actually we're going to add one more thing. It's really two, but that's okay. Extend that right leg long. Let's go ahead and do one more pyramid pose. We're not going to do the angled one for right now. We're just going to work on that hamstring stretch. All right, let's go ahead and come up. Take this hand, hook it underneath that leg. Okay, are we ready? Extend and bend. Is that crown of the head to the ceiling? What are you feeling, right? Are you trying to get a different sensation? Be a little more mindful. Okay, here we go. We're going to extend. Now we're going to reach up and hold. Now, take a moment to see where is your toe in a relationship to the wall or the ceiling, wherever it is. Don't lean back. Pull your belly in. Let go of that leg and see if you can keep that foot up there. Aha! One more breath. Bend that knee and put that foot down. All right, other side. Extend, lengthen, and hinge. I know, right? I said we've got two more things, and we do. I'm only going to do one at a time, though. I thought it was a little too much to add both. Here we go. Hook it underneath. We're going to extend and bend. We're going to extend and bend. Extend and bend. One more. Extend, reach up, grab that ankle, give it a little tug. See where it is on the wall. Let go. See if you can hold it up there. One more breath. Bend that knee and put that foot down. Last thing, I promise. Other side. Let's get that hamstring just a little bit of love before we start. Okie dokie. Hook it underneath. Here we go. We got this part. Extend and bend extend and bend. One more, extend and hold, reach up and grab. Now let go. Now we're going to bring that leg down and we're going to bring it back up. Bring that leg down and bring it back up. Crown of the head to the ceiling, belly is tight. Up we go. One more, down and up. Hold, breathe. One more breath, bend the knee, put the foot down. Other side, extend that leg long. Lengthen and hinge, pyramid pose. Up we go. Hook that leg over that arm. Extend and bend. Extend and bend. Extend and hold. Reach up, grab, pull, release. Let that leg come down and up. Down and up. Down and up. Crown of the head long. Last one. Up. Hold one more breath. Bend the knee. Put the foot down. And release. All right. Let's grab a sip of water. We're going to come to standing behind our chair. So you want to take your feet a solid hip distance apart. So you want to just probably about the width of your chair legs, but you want to have a good base to stand, but you don't want them to be too wide. All right, so we're going to take a moment here. Our hands are here on the chair for just a moment. Feel like you're getting yourself nice and stable in that in this wide hip position. Now we're going to take our fingers and we're going to interlace them, and we're going to bring our hands back behind our head. Squeeze your shoulder blades behind, lift your heart, belly is tight. So I want you to lift up through the chest with your elbows back. Now we're going to slowly tuck our chin, round our spine, and let the head fall. So you're not pulling on the neck, but as you begin to tuck your chin and your elbows come down towards the floor, just gravity is going to help you get a nice stretch to the back of the neck. So I want you to get a sensation, a new sensation. See what you can feel that's a little different in this stretch. One more breath. Let's release our hands off of our head. Put your hands on your chair and roll up slowly. Okay, we're going to do that one more time. So as you're moving into this is about kind of releasing and surrendering. I want you to really feel like you're relaxing through your jaw. Just breathe and try to get a little bit extra stretch into the back of that neck. Okay, so again, all about mindful movements today. We're going to release the hands off of the chair, interlace your fingers, bring the hands up behind the head, lift through the chest, elbows are back. Okay, now belly button to spine, we're going to slowly begin to tuck our chin and round our spine, letting that head fall. Now bring those elbows down letting them fall towards the floor, and you may feel a little extra stretch in that head just from the weight of the elbows and gravity, right, pulling them down. Breathe in here. Try to release your jaw, release all of your facial muscles, relaxing. Just two more breaths. One more breath here. Take your hands off of your head, place them on your chair, tuck your chin and roll. Well, your chin is already tucked, isn't it? Go ahead and roll that head up. So were you able to feel anything different in those two times, right? So remember, that's kind of the idea in today's practice, is eking out a little different sensation. Okay, so we're going to move into a leaning mountain pose. So we're staying behind our chair and we're going to extend our mountain first, all right? So hands to the ceiling, shoulders are down, belly is tight. Now bring your palms together Interlace your fingers and extend that pointer finger. Shoulders are staying down. So we're going to lean our mountain. Now thinking about, again, pressing that opposite hip and heel down to the floor as you're leaning that mountain. We're going to take another breath here, and then we're going to come up, and we're going to go the other side. So I know it's a little bit of a balance. It can be a balance challenge too. So we're keeping our feet grounded to the earth. Our belly stays tight. That's going to help with balance. And we're leaning that mountain. And then we're going to come up, extend, and bring those hands down. Okay? Whew. So you notice how slowly we're doing that extended mountain. And we're just trying to feel different sensations. So, you know, always I feel my sideways stretching, but this time I'm trying to think about, well, can I ground my foot a little deeper into the earth? Can I think about lengthening through my head? You know, just anything that's a little bit different, trying to feel something new. Okay, we're going to do it again, and this time we're going to add a little twist, okay? So here we go. Let's start in our extended mountain. Belly is tight, shoulders are down. Palms together, interlace fingers, pointer fingers to the ceiling. All right, are we ready? We're going to lean that mountain. Ha, so feeling something a little bit different maybe. Maybe instead of always feeling this side, maybe you feel what's happening on the other side of your waist, right? I don't know, something different. Okay, now all we're going to do is we're going to turn and look up at the ceiling. So we're adding that little twist to it. Okay, take the twist out. We're going to take those hands to the ceiling and we're going to go to the other side. Here we go. We're leaning. Now we're going to turn and we're going to look up at the ceiling. Okay, let's take that twist out. Take those hands back up to the ceiling and bring those hands down to your chair. All right, how's that feel? Maybe you want to roll your shoulders a little bit, right? That's always a good option here. Excellent. So we're going to move into horse pose. So what I want you to do is to stay behind your chair, heel toe your feet a little bit wider than the chair legs, okay? Now, take your toes and you're going to angle them out to the side. So the toes are not facing forward. They're going to face out a little bit at a diagonal. All right? Now, belly is super tight. You're going to hold on to that chair at the beginning. You're going to shoot your hips behind you, kind of like if you've done chair pose with me before. It's a little bit like chair pose. So my knees are staying behind my toes. My hips are sinking back. Right? Can you see what I'm doing there, right? So here I am, my belly is tight, my knees are staying back, my hips are shooting back, and I'm holding on to the back of that chair, okay? You should be feeling the inner thighs are stretching, the belly stays tight, my heart stays lifted. Okay, now if you are so inclined, if you want to try letting go of that chair, we're going to bring those arms to goddess arms. Okay, now we're going to take that right heel and we're going to lift it up off the mat. So you're up on those right tippy toes. And then you're going to bring that heel back down. We're going to lift that other foot, the other heel off of the mat. And we're going to put that heel down. Grab your chair, straighten those legs, heel toe it in, checking in, how does that feel? Okay, giving those legs just a little bit of a break. Okay, so that's a basic horse pose right there. We're going to be adding some things onto that. We'll be working a little bit into some balance. So you've got your chair. If you want to take the goddess arms out and just hold your chair and work your feet, that's fine. If you want to try to do the whole with the balance, then you're going to take your arms up to goddess arms or goalpost arms, right? And then you'll be doing it without holding on. Your choice. Okay. Here we go. Let's heel toe so heel toe, those feet a little bit wide. Make sure you got those toes at a diagonal. You don't want them facing forward or totally out. You want them right at that diagonal, okay? That's going to put that knee right in alignment. Shoot your hips back behind you. Knees are behind the toes. Hands start on that chair or they're at goddess arms. Okay, let's lift that right heel off the floor and put it down. Lift the left heel off the floor and put it down. Left heel and down. Right heel and down. Again, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Straighten the legs and take a moment. Okay, all right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lift left or right and left. Both heels will be up, and then put one down, then we'll lift up, and then down and down, okay? And we'll do that a few times. Okay, here we go. Heel toe those feet out. This is it. Make it count. Shift those hips back, come into that, getting ready for horse. Arms at goddess if you wish. Here we go. Right up, left down, right down. Left up, right down, left down. Up, down and down, up and up, down and down. Listen, up and hold, breathe. Down and down. Up and hold, breathe. Down and down. Last time, up and hold. We got to do both sides though. Down, down. Last time, up, hold. Down, down. Straighten your legs, heel toe those feet in together. I know. And let's take a seat. Let's grab a sip of water. Okay, so if you have your block, if you would grab that please and place it between your feet. And if you don't have a block, don't worry about it, it's fine. So I'm going to move a little bit forward in my chair, and I'm going to heel toe my feet wide. All right? So the first thing I'm going to do is it's a straddle forward fold, and then we're going to add a twist. So the first thing is I'm going to just grab a hold to my thighs, hold on, let my heart fall forward, keeping the back flat, feeling the back working. Then I'm going to tuck my chin, and I'm just going to roll it up nice and slow, okay? Let's do that one more time. Extend through the spine, belly button to spine, let that heart fall forward. Hands are on those thighs, keeping the back flat. We're going to roll it up. Okay, so that's really good. Let's go ahead and just bring those feet in and let those legs take a little break. Okay, so the add-on here is we're going to go ahead and do that same thing, but we're going to take our head a little bit lower. So either you're going to put your hands on your block or you're going to put your hands on your thighs or your shins, I guess, and hang on there, okay? So here we go. Let's heel toe just a little bit wider. We're going to pull that belly button in. We're going to let that heart fall forward. Now I'm going to place my hands on the block. I'm going to move mine a little bit out and then let that heart fall forward. Okay? Back stays flat. One more breath. Go ahead and roll it up. Okay? So now if you want a little bit more, I'm going to turn from this position of my block to this position of my block. Okay? And if you're hanging onto your legs, you're just going to walk your hands down a little bit further. So maybe they were higher on the shins, maybe they're going to go lower. Are we ready? Here we go. Extend the spine long. Keep that back flat. Hands are on thighs to start with. Are we ready? The add-on, here it comes. Place the hands on the block or on your shin. Let your your heart fall a little bit further, keeping again the back is still flat. One more breath, and let's go ahead and roll up. Okay, so that's a great version. Either of those. If you want to do it without the block, you can do it without the block. Your hands are going to go on the floor. All right, are we ready? Extend. Forward we go. Are we ready? Put the hands on the floor maybe. Okay, now from here we're going to add a twist. So I want you to move your right hand underneath your face, and your left arm is going to twist open. You're going to put that hand back and kind of replace the other one, and then twist open the other way. Bring those hands back to the floor, pull your belly in, and you're going to roll up nice and slow. Okay, did that feel okay? We're going to do that just one more time. Remember, if you want to keep the block there, keep the block there. If you want to be hanging on here, so if you're hanging on to your legs, what you're doing is instead of twisting, you can't twist if you want to, or you can let that elbow come down, or that shoulder, excuse me, that shoulder come down and up and down and up, okay? So you can do that if you wish. All right, last time. Here we go. Extend through the spine, holding onto those thighs. Let that heart fall forward. Now we're going to reach down and we're going to put our hand on the block. Maybe your hand is on the floor. Your choice. Okay, now we're going to move that left hand right in front of the face. We're going to open up and we're twisting, looking to the right. Bring that hand back down. Replace the hand that's on the block or the floor. Open up and look the other way. Bring that hand down. Pull that belly button to spine. Roll it up. And heel toe those feet back in together. All right, very good. Set your block on the outside of that right leg. Now you're going to take the left leg and you're going to cross it over and you're going to just rest your foot on that block. If you don't have a block, you're just going to be here, okay? But if you have the block, resting that foot on it, sometimes that might feel a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to cross at the wrists. Now, if your left leg is on top, generally you would want the right wrist in front. It's just kind of a balance thing. It's not a big deal. Okay? Now, if you want to, and we're going to come forward. We're going to lean forward. And then we're going to push back up. Okay? Now, if you want a little bit more, you're just going to hug yourself. Same thing. And we're going to let that heart fall forward. And then we're going to lift that heart back up. And let's unravel those arms. Let's unravel the legs and go to the other side. So if you want to have that block there, you're going to cross over and you're going to have that foot resting on that block. Remember, belly tight, crown of the head is long. So now we're going to cross so the right leg is on top, so the left wrist is in front. Extend through the spine. Let that heart fall forward. Seated eagle pose. Let's come up. And then let's hug ourselves. So for me, whichever hand was on top previously, you want the other hand on top. Extend and let that heart come forward. Press back up and release. Very good. Okay. So hang on to that block, just set it here for a moment. We're going to come into a crescent lunge, which we've done before, but I'm going to show you how you can use the block and make it a little bit more out of this crescent lunge. So we're going to take that right knee and open it wide. Actually, just kind of set the block out of your way for right now, and then we'll come to it. So let that knee fall down. So now maybe this is where you have felt like you can go, and you just really can't push that foot back behind you. So one idea is to take the block and just let your shin rest on that block. So that gives you an opportunity to push that foot back just a little bit more, but you feel like you've got that leg supported. So you might give that a try and see what you think. Now if you are able to push that foot back behind you, then you probably are going to want to do that version. I just wanted to give you an option if this one is not available to you, then you can use that block. Okay, let's release it and let's do that one more time. Lifting that heart up, feeling that quadriceps stretching, hip flexor is stretching. One more breath. Let's go ahead and face forward. Same leg is going to extend out for pyramid pose. Lengthen through the spine, let that heart fall forward. keeping the back flat. Go ahead and roll up, and we're going to do that one more time. Extend, belly button to spine, let the heart fall forward. And up we go. Okay, so now we're going to do a seated pigeon. And again, I'm going to show you a way to use the block that can help. If ankle to ankle is really what's available to you, and you haven't been able to move to ankle to knee at all, then this could give you an in-between. So you set your block here, and instead of ankle to ankle, you rest your foot on that block. And it just lifts the leg a little bit more, gives you a little bit more stretch into that hip, right? It's just an option. If you want to use it, go for it. If you don't want to, it's a-okay. You can go ahead and come into our traditional pigeon, extend through the spine, and let that heart fall forward. So those hips are getting a good stretch. I feel it. All right, let's go ahead and roll up. So remember, the name of the game is trying to find some new sensation that you haven't felt before. So maybe that means you press gently on that knee. Maybe that means you put your elbow here and your fingers go, your chin is on those fingers and you press. Right? I don't know. Just play around with it. See if you can find something new and different that you haven't felt before. All right, let's go ahead and release that, and we're going to go to the other side. Okay, first thing is open up, feel the inner thigh stretching. Remember, if you want to use that block, you're going to go ahead and let that knee fall down. If you have the extended knee version and that works well for you, go for it. If you don't, and you want to try maybe pressing that foot back a little bit, but it's resting on that block, that can give you a new sensation that you haven't normally felt before. Something to try, right? So we're looking over that front knee, our spine is long, head is extended, heart is lifted. One more breath here. All right, let's go ahead and face forward. We're going to extend that foot out in front of us. We're going to lengthen through the spine and let the heart fall forward. So the back of that leg is what is stretching here. A little hamstring stretch. Let's go ahead and roll it up. Can we do that again? Extend and hinge forward. Pyramid pose. And up we go. All right, we're going to do eagles. So I'm going to set that block on the outside of my left leg. Right leg crosses over, and that foot just rests on that block. Just different, right? Okay, so now we're going to cross. Oops, I got it the wrong way. It doesn't matter. It's really not a big deal. All right, extend and let that heart fall forward. Up we go. And then let's do that again. If you want to hug yourself, that's an option, right? You can do that if you want to. Let that heart fall forward. And up we go. Very good. Okay, go ahead and just set the block aside. Go ahead and sit back in your chair. Hands are resting lightly on your thighs. Flip your palms up to the ceiling. Close your eyes and just breathe. Promises to keep. You've made promises to yourself, promises to others, promises to life. Do what you can to keep those promises. You've always had potential and have accumulated even more potential as time has passed. Do all you can to fulfill the best of that potential. It's tempting to settle in, hide away, be satisfied with what you've done and leave it at that. But you have promises to keep, possibilities still waiting for you to bring them to life. Today you can work to deliver on all the good promises you've made. Today you can live your life according to how you always said you would and expected you would. Nothing is holding you back from doing so other than your own choices. Whether your promises result in achievement or disappointment is up to you. You know how good you've envisioned life to be, how good you've promised it can be. Now is your chance to make good on that promise. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Reach up with the right hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that left hand down towards the floor. Release it. Drop your chin towards your chest. Reach up with the hands. Give the head a gentle tug as you press those elbows down towards the floor. Release it. Drop the left ear to the left shoulder. Reach up with the left hand. Give the head a gentle tug as you press that opposite hand down towards the floor. Release it. Look up just slightly. Open your mouth if you want to stretch your jaw. Bring your hands to your heart. Honoring one another, we say Namaste. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope to see you next time. Leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.